Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are playing some Polaris, some old Harry Polaris. Polaris is a game about a sort of chivalric time in the North with starring a particular protagonist, and our world is kind of dying, and our protagonist is going to stop it, or tragically fail to stop it. Is the more accurate way of putting it.
Yeah.
And we just finished making our characters. We have two protagonists, and we're going to be rotating scenes between their two stories. So let's jump into the action here. The first scene that gets made is by Vulpecula, so by Golden Age's protagonist. You get to set the scene about what you want, and should a I guess the way you start any scene, that's like the first scene, is that you say a certain phrase. You say, "Long ago, the people were dying at the end of the world, but hope was not yet lost, for Vulpecula still heard the song of the stars." And then you say, "And so it was," and you begin the sentence here. Okay,
Okay.
so
Let me find the. I had posted a flowchart of all this stuff.
all right, I posted the
But,
the words in the Skypes.
yes. Long ago, the people were dying at the end of the world, but hope was not yet lost. For Vorpecula still heard the song of the stars, and so it was. But it is not dead that which forever sleeping lies. Unfortunately, Vorpecula was woken by the dawn, and she looked up at the man laying next to her in the bed, and she thought, hmm, I wish I could stay here forever, but I have a duty. And so she went out into the world and she searched for a demon. Now, do I just say like what she finds?
Yep. But it's up to Kelsa to start kind of think of maybe possible consequences to what you do. Yeah, so
Okay.
you're a superhero basically. You succeed as long as the mistaken lets you.
So Vulpecula is looking into the city and she finds a little dog, and
Oh,
the dog is hungry and is whining for food. So she goes into her pouch at her belt and she breaks the bread that she has in her pouch, and she gives half of it to the dog. And the dog is happy and it's fed, and it follows her around the town. And everything is fine until she comes up to this merchant sitting at a table. At not a table. He's on this really thick woven blanket over the snow,
oh, okay.
and everyone else is like staring at the dawn. But the merchant is so like, "Hey, come buy this. Come buy this ring. Come buy this pendant. Come buy this flashy sword." And the people in their daze and wonderment are going up to him and just handing him their purses, and he's giving them these trinkets. So Vulpecula goes up to him and she orders him to stop, and the merchant becomes upset and he goes to reach for a knife, and then that's when Vulpecula chops his head off. So the merchant is dead and the demon is vanquished. Should I just keep going?
Yeah, I mean, Kelsa?
Sorry, I got sidetracked trying to read this other thing. Yeah, so what?
So there was this demon
Who
giving
is
out
He was just giving out
trinkets.
trinkets in exchange for some kind of currency, right?
He was taking all of the people's money and giving them trinkets in return while they're dazed by the dawn.
By what? By the dog you helped?
No, they're dazed by the glow of the dawn, the coming of the
Oh,
sun.
The
the
dawn,
dawn.
not the dog. Yeah.
I totally apologize. I'm sorry. I misheard that.
Sure.
So
So then I
in the,
vanquished the
in the
demon.
in the glory of the dawn, and then you vanish a demon. Okay, so this is where I can step in and say, but only if.
Right.
Okay.
Or you can
So,
say it's totally
Or
cool.
yeah.
or I could say it's totally cool.
And
I mean,
furthermore,
I
also,
think I would start with I do want to step in and say, but if only if here.
Okay. So we're gonna lay out a challenge here.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I want to see how this works, and
Sure.
you know, it
So
can't just be that easy.
yep. So the last sentence that was said.
life's just easy.
Yep. And the one that was so the sentence that was triggering the conflict was you chop the head off of the merchant, right? So that's
Right.
where we're starting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is the starting sentence. So
But only if the townsfolk stare on in horror and are appalled by what you have done, as there was no trial and no indication to them, so caught up in the thrall of the dawn, as to the demonic nature of this merchant.
But only if it frees the Taun people forever from the lure of the dawn and the sun.
So, Kelsa, you have two options. You can
Okay.
say yes, but only if, or whenever you're approached by something, you're like, you can always say you're asking too much, and
Yeah.
then you can strike off, or I will strike off one of your four options to do that, and then the person who asked for too much can provide a secondary alternative. And then you can choose which one you want to respond to appropriately.
Um.
You can also say yes, but this and furthermore, right?
You normally could.
Different?
You normally could, but those are the ones that I struck out from the game. So
Because
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, only for the purposes of this being a one shot and having crazy stories is
Sure.
the normal flow and breaks
The goal.
are yeah.
So I think yeah, I think that's asking too much. Like to have this one time striking down a demon, eliminate them, free them from it forever. It seems like too much to ask.
How about a year?
Okay, that's reasonable.
And yep, as moons, Adam and myself, we're responsible for arbitrating any sort of, if you're asking for too much, the alternate being different, sufficiently different in scope, than the original. You're asking too much, or the original. I don't know, assertion.
Right. The original thing I described, forever freed
Yeah, that's
from
totally.
the sun.
Yeah,
that's totally too much.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
And I suggested, what if they're only freed for this year?
Yeah.
That's totally fine with everybody?
Yeah, I think that's totally fine.
Yeah,
that's
a valid. That's totally.
That's much more reasonable.
Yep. So, Kelso, you have the choice of those two options.
Then I go with for 1 year.
Okay. But you must respond then, saying.
What is my formal response then?
You have three things. You can say, but only if, and add something else you want, and throw the ball back into Vulpecula's court. You can say you're asking too much again, and get another one, but striking off another one of your one of your four charges. Or you could say, and so it was. And that's when you're like, yep, I got what I wanted. I'm okay with that, and that's it. And then, yeah.
And so it was.
Okay, so then Fictionally,
Okay.
everything that was just said happens, right? So now
Okay.
we are at the point where the very end where you know that everybody's been saved for a year.
Great.
So
So, do I keep talking or what?
um, so as the antagonist,
Mhm.
Mm.
we are responsible for checking to see to make sure the protagonist is um, not acting in a way that's indicative of sympathy for a demon or demons as a whole, hatred of a person or people as a whole, apathy, callousness, cynicism, doubt, and despair. And that's what we're supposed to be doing as an antagonist slash mistaken. Typically, we should end a scene when we feel like the protagonist has maybe done enough to do maybe like 3 to 8 or more, problems. So I think we should probably continue the scene because I don't think we hit any of those for this one
Okay.
just yet. So,
Possibly
So-
callousness, but only
yeah.
only by extrapolation.
So here's another good point about the conflicts, because that you just brought it up, the extrapolation thing. That would not count against him because as an antagonist, you need to bring out that they are acting in that reason and they need to know it in a way, right? Does that help? To be like,
Okay.
oh, you're doing it, but that's fine. You do that, but only if you do it for the selfish reason and not the selfless
Oh,
one,
okay.
right? Like you can, like like you killed him not to better the town. You did it because you wanted to be the best, and he was standing in your way, right? Like you can, like that's how you do it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, I was going for he did it knowing that it would upset the townspeople.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was
Yeah.
You got one on there. So let's just
Okay.
Yep,
But-
no problem. This is a game that takes it's weird shoes to fill to start, but you pick up on it.
Hmm.
So
I'm
okay.
just worried because eventually I'm going to run out of time to think, and this conversation just doesn't give me time to plan what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
So, Vulpecula sees the townsfolk turn on her, and they come and they put her in chains and take her before the magistrate. And the magistrate demands why did you kill this man without seeking permission or due process? And Vulpecula takes off her coat, and underneath is this gleaming marshal's star that says that she's a member of the Knight of the Order of the Stars. And she says, I'm a knight. I saw this man was a demon, and you were all enthralled by the sun and could not aid me or give me the clearance I needed. That is why the Knight of the Order of the Stars exists, to act when none other can exist. And now look what I have done. I have freed you from the damnation of the star.
Yeah.
And the magistrate decided that this was good, and he looked in the legal records and said, yeah, the knight can strike down this person if they feel like it's due cause and it's actually a demon.
But
and
only
so
if.
Vulpecula.
But only if this sets a precedent that is further abused by other knights.
I love that
Sounds-
one.
I think that's great.
I'm not supposed
Very
to
good.
comment, but I love that.
And so it was, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, not everything has to be a massive conflict. You can totally do these little yeah, but only if. You know what I mean, just those little kind of
The moons shall allow it.
yeah.
And so it was.
All right.
And so Vulpecula lived in this town for a number of days, and she was happy with Dorado, her lover. But she knew that, though she had defeated all the demons in the town, that she had to move on.
Okay.
And
That's
so,
Yeah.
and so she goes up to him, and they have this passionate lovemaking because it's the last time they'll ever see each other. And then in the morning, she asks him to come with her. Now, do I play Dorado, or does...
Do we need to
No,
play this out, or?
Yeah, you play it out.
Okay. Do you want me to come with you?
Yes, I want you to come with me. Be with me while I vanquish the demons.
But
Be that...
This is my home. This is all I have ever known.
Well, that's because you have not seen the world. Like, if you come with me, you will know much more
But the
than you
world
have ever seen.
it's so dangerous out there. With demons and all these. You came to this town. You killed a demon that we did not even know was there. It's safe here. Why do you not just stay here?
Because there are many others who are not safe.
Well, why do you have to be the one to do it?
Because I can. Because I've been given this gift by the stars. Because they tell me I need to do this. They've chosen me. I'm just asking you, come with me. Leave this city behind. You've given your life to growing it. Now give your life to me, and I'll give my life to you.
Do I have any story things, or is this just us playing this out?
No, you have control over Dorado. Like, you can be like, well, I
Right,
leave,
yeah, I
right?
wasn't sure if I have the but only if or things, or if that's just the
You can
antagonist.
only the antagonist has that, but the moon has a phrase that they can say to be like, I want to trigger this, right? You say, we shall see what comes of it, as a moon.
Okay.
And then when you say we shall see what comes of it, then the mistaken and the heart have an option to respond.
Okay.
They could say if they both say we shall see what comes of it, then we trigger the battle.
Okay, so,
but someone
Dorado,
could say, but it was no matter if they wanted to play it out, right?
Okay. So Dorado looks back to the town and to this windmill on a hill,
Mm-hmm.
and the mill's just very lightly moving from the slight breeze. And he thinks back that he's been alone. He hasn't really taught anybody else how to do it, but he loves Vulpecula, and so I have no choice. I love you. I have to come with you, and we shall see what comes of it.
I mean, was that an actual moon, or are you saying that in character?
Me as the moon is saying, we shall see what comes of it.
Okay.
Are the words bolded?
Yeah.
Right.
We shall see what comes of it.
Carrot B carrot. We shall see what comes of it. Carrot / B carrot. There we go. Now it's bold.
And if we're fine with it, we just say, and it comes to pass.
But it was no matter. Yeah.
But it was no matter, right?
Unless the antagonist has the option.
So I say we shall see what comes of it.
Okay.
Okay. So then you can say but only if.
Okay. So he will go with you, but only if the town starves without its miller.
Mm.
I had that idea. I already had that idea. I swear I already had that idea.
But only if the mist does not harm the town.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm all right with that. What's my phrase for that again? So it was.
So it was.
Yep.
Awesome. And so it was. I think that's probably good for our first scene. What do you think?
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
So,
Now, do you feel like she was being callous or something? Does she know? You didn't say she knew that she would.
Right.
dance,
Yeah,
so
exactly. That's true.
So
That's true.
she doesn't really know. I don't know. She knows what the consequences.
That'll be for later when they come back.
All right. So that's the end of the scene. So now do we switch to our other protagonist?
We will. But there's one thing left to do. So now, at the end of each scene, the antagonist kind of will help sort of recite what happened, and when reciting what happens, we will be looking for moments when our protagonist in that scene acted in a way that's indicative of sympathy for a demon or demons as a
So this
whole,
is when we officially say
hatred
this.
of
Like,
a person or people as a whole, apathy, callousness, or cynicism, doubt or despair.
Okay.
Okay. So our protagonist went out and faced the dawn and destroyed a demon, but at the cost of her own uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Face, her
Standing, yeah.
standing
The
within the town.
reputation.
Reputation.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is the word I was looking for. At the cost of her own reputation, and was put to trial, where it was determined that she, in fact, had the greater good in mind, but at the cost of future and other Knights of the Order of the Stars can abuse this in order to murder people in cold blood. With, it was the dawn blinding you as an excuse. Then she went to see her lover and request that he join her on her journey. And he agreed, but without their miller, the town will starve. Luckily, the town will be free from the demon mists, but if they all die of starvation, not necessarily the best outcome.
hindsight's 2020.
I think that sounds like one. There was one indication of the protagonist not being the hero, right? Having a little bit of fault, which is fine because like we want to see the downfall of the hero, right? So that's fine. So, go ahead and roll for me, Golden Age, a d6, and if you roll a 4 or lower, I will tell you what happens.
Okay.
Spoilers though, if you don't roll a 4 or lower, I will still tell you what happens.
Okay, tell us what happens.
So awesome. So you didn't lose zeal. So this would be how you gain experience. Experience mechanically or fictionally. Basically, when your zeal gets to 1, should kind of be the turning point from when your character goes like, "Oh, I still got this. I'm still fixing this," to being like, "Oh my God, my beliefs are ruined. I need to just everything's out the window, and I'm gonna do whatever I can." Right? Like it's sort of like the narrative pacing that we're going for here. Okay, so your zeal is still at 4. You do not gain experience. When you gain experience,
experience is bad, apparently.
yeah, when you would gain experience, exactly, it is. It's going from
It's-
your zeal, your belief in your ideals and your convictions to being like, God, this world's complicated, right? Like this is.
I'm just gonna roll well. This is gonna be the longest game Polaris
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have
I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm all right with this.
Oh.
Okay.
lucky. Okay, lucky duck. So, good.
Well, I do have to go see Star Wars tomorrow, so if this
Oh.
goes,
Right.
past like 3:00 in the afternoon, then we have a problem.
Poor Kelso. Poor Kelso. Okay, so now we're switching over and we're doing the second story now. We're going to do the first scene of the second story. So this would be Lasath. So I also need to read the the phrase for how we start a game, because this is the first scene that we're ever seeing Lasath. So, long ago, the people were dying at the end of the world. But hope was not yet lost, for Lasath still heard the song of the stars. And so it was that we see Lasath, who is not asleep. No, yeah, he is asleep. He's asleep in his office. It clearly, like, he is. You see wax candles burn down to just puddles. He's clearly been doing an all-nighter with books and tomes and passages all scribbled out over his desk. When in comes rushing through the door. Let's come up with a person, a assistant, or I guess somebody. No, a friend. Maybe it's the March Lord. It's Andromeda. Andromeda comes in basically about how outraged about my son and what happened. So this would be the first time I hear about my son being on trial.
So Andromeda. So where does your character live?
Well, the scene takes. I don't know where my character lives, but the scene will take place in my office. My office is sort of like, imagine a middle class or upper middle class style, like lawyer office, or like bookshelves of tomes and books and candles and lights, giant wooden desk, tons of what do you call it, stuff, correspondence, and what do you call the stuff when you write things? The fancy word for writing things. Lettering.
Illuminations?
Calligraphy?
Calligraphy?
Not calligraphy is the fancy handwriting. What do you call the stationery? Stationery. All over.
Okay. So Andromeda comes in, and he comes into the ringing of many bells.
Yeah, and that kind of like your footsteps and the bells like wake me up in a bit. I'm like, oh God, Andromeda,
Like-
what?
Asath, your son, it's your son, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Z.
son has violated our most sacred of laws, set down by King Polaris himself in his highest moments of glory. What do
What?
you know of this?
I like immediately like wake up and like you see like half my face is like covered in ink from sleeping on it, and I'm like, oh, and then like it gets smeared even more when I look at my hand. I'm like, what? My son?
Asath, clean that ink off your face. This is serious.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was up late writing the defense for. Oh, never mind. Oh
Is
my
this
God,
how
my
you
son.
want the queen to see you? Come on, man.
The queen's coming here.
No, she's not coming. Are you mad?
Oh, God.
But if she were to have seen you like this, I don't know what I could have done.
I was up so late for the royal courts. I'm sorry. Oh God. My son. What did he do this time? It can't be that bad, can it?
He has created a new calendar.
And like this, like the camera like cuts into like my eyes. I'm like, my God. and I guess I looked at Andromeda and I go, oh my God, a calendar. Oh my God. I told him a million times to not do it. His head. Oh my God. I know
He's
it's
going
my
to
son, my
repeat
youngest
the
son.
mistake.
I know.
Seth.
He,
You know what will happen with another mistake.
I know. We can't. Our society can never afford such a insidious thing. My son, his head is in such a good place, but he doesn't understand the customs and why they're there, and the safeguards that they provide us. I must go to his aid at once, and we go over to my son in I guess in the cell or whatever, probably in the the jail, and so
I'm sitting there like all of my gangly teenage glory, like on a like the bench of the cell or whatever, and just like sobbing silently, like I've been crying for so long I don't actually have any tears left.
oh my God. So like I come in, I'm like, Z, my boy, my youngest son.
And I look up and like obviously like have been crying, like red eyes, look gross and weird, and like but like I immediately like try to stifle that and like
Put up a mask.
like yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's so hard because like there's like splotchiness and whatever, so like and he's got like really thin like peach fuzz of a beard that is not really long enough to shave but also not really full, and he looks up and he's like, Dad?
Z, oh my poor Z, come here, boy. And I put my hand like through the bars to like hold him.
And like he goes to stand up but like he stumbles because like his legs are like fallen asleep from being in an awkward position, like
Mm.
curled up on the bench, and like he's like, "All right, just a second. They locked me up, Dad." And like he stumbles over and grabs your hand.
I know, it will be okay, son. This is just one giant misunderstanding. Come here to me. Let you know that everything will be all right. I will get you out of this if it's the last thing I do.
Oh, Dad, I don't know what's wrong. I I'm at the top of my class in every science, and when I was so proud of it, Dad. They smashed it with a hammer before they locked me up.
Oh my dear, oh my poor boy. Uh, I look to Andromeda, and I'm like, can I have a minute, please, with my son?
So Andromeda is about to answer, but the jailer comes. The
Okay.
jailer's name is Spica. I believe it's my job as Full Moon to introduce minor characters.
Yes. What's his name? Specca?
Spica, Spica.
Oh, thank you.
And Spica says, "Your time is up. You must leave now."
Um, I
And Andromeda just looks like he can't change the way the world works.
I think I will argue with the jailer. Um, I'm not visiting my son just as as a father would visit their son. I am actually I by the royal courts and magistrate under the King Polaris, I will serve as counsel and attorney to Z, and this is part of due process for attorney-client privilege, Spica.
You swear by the name of the queen that you have the correct paperwork and identification that makes you to be a legal defendant in this case, legal
Uh,
attorney.
I look to. Oh yeah, I totally. I look to him. I'm like, of course I do.
Mm.
I'm the magistrate of the royal courts. For gosh sakes.
The Marsh Lord Andromeda comes in and agrees with you. Says, "Yes, Spica, this is one of our Majesty's most finest legal attorneys. Uh, yeah, and we must provide his son with every due process if we're to have a just trial." And
But
Spica
only if,
agrees.
Oh.
but only if you may only have one case at a time.
Oh, so I have to drop my other case. Um. Okay. But only if. Um. But only if the king accepts my decision to pursue the case of defending my son.
And so it was.
Okay. See, so please, I require privacy with my son for to go over our details for the
So,
upcoming case.
so Andromeda and Spica like go into this other room to give you
Yeah.
your privacy.
I get down
Like you can
on.
hear
Yeah.
the locks on the jails on the outside like clanging shut,
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
nobody can interrupt you.
Yeah. I get down on one knee to get about the same height as my boy, and I am like, Z, I'll get you out of here. I'll get you out of here by tonight.
Please.
I know some people, they can do some favors for us in the meantime, but I need you right now to be strong, and I need you to tell me what happened. I told you to not. Oh, you break my heart, my son.
And
I
like you'd been holding his hand, and he like
Yeah.
throws it down.
Yeah.
And it's like, you never understood me, Dad.
I'm
We
trying. I've tried. You know that the king makes me work so late. I'm sorry I cannot be there for you all of the times that I want. It pains me every day. It feels I'm covered in wounds and bruises from my time I'm not able to stay with you.
I saw the secrets of the sun, and I
How?
went away.
Not even the secrets of the sun. I'm like,
Well, maybe that's a little ambitious.
son,
I
you
made
know,
it.
that is forbidden by the March Lords.
Well, I thought if I could know the way the stars dance, they dance in a certain way before the dawn. And I found a way to mark that.
Oh, my curious son, you got that from your mother. Ah, oh, you remind me so much of her. Come here.
She would have understood this. I wish she was still here.
I try to I feel like we're like hugging through the bars in a way. Right?
Yeah,
and I'm like,
totally.
and I think I just like I hold your head, right? Like your back of your head, like in the hug, and I'm like, I know she would. I know. But how did I need we need to talk more, but I'm sorry, my son. I must leave you. And I like open my coat or whatever, and I have some like crackers and stuff. Like I give you like hide this away. I will be back for you for tonight. I will get you out of here. I have to go see the jailer, and I have to go see another name of somebody. I have to go see the another magistrate who can get you out of here. Okay.
I believe in you, Dad.
Stay strong, my son.
Okay.
May the starlight guide your way and I leave and I look and as I like knock on the door or whatever to get out. I think that'll probably be seen.
Okay.
Because that was fucking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good.
Let's see. So, I don't think there are anything that counts for experience here.
I lied about having the paperwork.
Oh.
I will own up
Thank
to
you for
that.
being honest for that,
Yeah.
since,
I
Well,
don't
I
think
kind
you
of assumed
mentioned
that like it was more of your reputation that let you did that, but
Yeah, no, I mean I didn't have time. I literally showed up here, right?
okay, yeah.
And I declared it verbally, but I never did any of the paperwork yet. That's what I'm gonna go like to do right now. Is I'm gonna go rush and do all the paperwork. And
Oh,
go get this
yeah,
guy
okay,
out and that
gotcha.
kind of stuff. But like, yeah. In the meantime, I did a divide time with my son.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so any other ones? Did you notice if I was apathetic or sympathy to demons of any kind, or
I think you are.
I
did
mean,
I
don't
do any
know.
doubt or despair?
Is Z a demon with his crazy calendar magic?
If he is a demon, then he would have to be moved to the mistaken.
I guess that's fair.
I think maybe the
I feel
start
like-
of something with casting away your other case, but maybe we'll see the results of that later.
Yeah, that's fair. 3. So that goes down. My weariness goes to 1. I've gained experience. I can raise my ice or light. For purposes of this game, they don't really do anything, but I get to add something to my character sheet when I do that. Or excuse me, what happens is I get to remove one of my "you're asking too much" things when I do that. When I level up, I get those back. So other than that, so I don't think I gain anything. I think I can only do that.
They're not using ice and light.
Not really. No, that's only for rolling in conflicts and stuff. And so this is a one shot. We're not doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with that.
Cool.
We're good. All right. Cool. Let's go to another scene. All right. This time we go back to
Volpecula.
Vulpecula. Thank you. We're going back to Vulpecula, and this will actually be a scene done by the Mistaken. The Mistaken gets to set the scene
Oh,
for the protagonist, because every scene must feature and star the protagonist, but the Mistaken gets to lay this scene out, just how
Ooh.
it would be for the next one.
okay.
Okay. Hmm. All right. I think that this is a scene on as Vulpecula and Dorado approach the next town on her quest or what have you. The word of her antics at the previous town has already reached this town. And she is welcomed at the gate by a guard that opens up and says, I promise you we have no demons here. And I guess technically that
That would probably
Eric
be
should
me.
be playing the guard. Yeah.
Yep. Um,
Can I ask setting detail? Is it still
Sure.
dawn?
I think it's that the sun has just like dipped back over the horizon. It's that kind of false light of and so it's still it's not full dark yet is what I'm trying to say.
oh, nice.
But
So
it's dark enough that there's nothing to look at.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think Versalis glares at you, and I think Versalis would go something to the tune of another night overstepping their bounds. Do us a favor here in this town and just move on. We have enough woe from your kind here.
Like it says. You're telling me this entire town has never seen a night?
Au contraire, we've seen too many.
Tell me of these nights.
And he's like, he puts his head down, like shakes it. It's like he's I need a name for a night, but he's indisposed. Azza.
Asa.
Yeah. Azza's indisposed right now after being caught slaying. I need another name. Wasat. In a duel just the other night.
Masat was a demon?
Night of imprisoned for murder.
Is there both nights?
Yeah, no, they're both knights. Exactly. And
These are grim tidings indeed.
indeed, that's why if you're not here to distill sentencing, then I suggest you just move on. We've seen enough of your kind here.
V, we should just leave them be. Clearly, they
Is
have
it my
plenty
duty?
of their own problems.
Is it your
Is it
duty?
my duty to give him sentencing?
I think it could be. I assume you have the authority to do something like that.
Says.
I don't know, maybe the mayor did, but you could jump in like a like a
Okay.
magistrate could.
Says. I have not reviewed this case. I was unaware of it. But if you would permit me to speak with the magistrate, I would wish to bring this news to my fellow knights so that we may deal with this situation correctly.
I think Rasalis would nod, but I can tell you what he's thinking. He's definitely thinking like, oh great, you're just gonna go and protect your own instead of having to deliver real justice. What a great night, right? That's what he's thinking in his head.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes, as you wish, ma'am.
Okay. So I guess she enters the city, and she goes to the magistrate.
I think Rosales, as you enter, looks to Dorado, like in a kind of interesting way of like, why is this lowly
Why is this random
miller
dude?
following around this knight? This seems
And
really
there's also
weird.
a little dog.
Oh yeah, and the dog. Are you
Mhm.
off to see the wizard? Sorry.
I need to collect an entourage. This is how these kind of stories work.
Awesome.
Okay. I think as they go into the town, I think Dorado tells her, "You go tend to your business. I'll pick up some supplies for us."
Thank you, Dorado. And she gives you a kiss on the cheek.
Mhm.
And then she goes to see the magistrate.
But only if. How do I phrase this in such a way that I need to invoke things? Let's see. I'm gonna hold off on that because I think it might be better a little bit later.
Okay.
So Vulpecula goes to the magistrate, and she follows the proper rituals to meet him. Like, she takes off her shoes, and she takes her sword and the Starlight's sword, and she places it in a scabbard, and so that it cannot be drawn in anger.
Mm.
And then she knocks on the door.
Am I playing the magistrate?
Is the magistrate a guy or a girl? In fact, for that matter,
I'd rather it be. Oh, that's right. I think that would Asa would be a girl. That would be under the moon.
So please play the doggy too.
And we need a dog.
There's a dog named Cheleb, which is
Cheleb?
dog of the Cheleb, dog of the
Cheleb.
shepherd.
Excellent.
Dog of the shepherd.
He's a dog.
My dog. My dogs.
Be a dog.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
Plus one doge.
He's so cute.
Okay. Awesome. So you knock on the magistrate's door?
Mm-hmm. And the magistrate answers it.
Yeah. I think a older gentleman, I'm just going to, I don't know. Like a very, very, very old gentleman, very, feeble, kind of looks at you, is like, yes?
Like, I am Vulpecula, and I am a knight of the Order of the Stars.
I think, this little squat man probably, only gets up to about maybe, 2/3 of your height, and he, looks up at you and says, a knight? Another one? Here to kill more?
And she moves aside her cloak so he can see that her sword is sheathed. And she says,
I see you keep the customs of the king. Very well. And he opens the door more for you to come in.
And she does.
He's like, take a seat, please. I'm boiling some tea right now. It helps with the digestion. Would you like some?
Oh, I would be very grateful. It has been long since I've had anything warm.
Yes. I think, I'm just going to use the same name, Yoden. Is that fine if I use Yoden?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. I am My name is Yilden Vulpecula. You announced your name, right? You announced your name,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Okay, that's not weird.
He's psychic.
Right? Yeah.
What?
I am
not weird.
yielded. I'm Yilden, and I am magistrate of Star Point.
It's a good, strong name for many magistrates.
Yes, we share the same name from the same ancestor long ago.
And he was so great. I'm sure your wisdom is also as great.
You flatter me. You must want something. So
I
tell
want
me.
only to know what you know of Azza.
He's like,
The night imprisoned
yes.
for murder.
I imagined as much. You knights are always quick to jump straight to business, but as you wish. And he comes out of he's like, all you hear is like the voice because he's in the kitchen, and he like comes out holding like, shaking 2 cups of tea, like
I think she helps him take the cups, steady his hands,
yeah.
and waits for him to sit down so she can give him the cup of tea.
Thank you. Well, as you may know, Azza was caught killing. What was the name of the guy? I said.
You
I
didn't
don't know.
write
It's
it
not
down.
written
I
down.
didn't-
Lost.
It is gone forever. It started with an O or something, I thought.
No, I don't remember. Anyways, slew another knight in cold blood. It was during the brief dawn, which may have affected things, but you knights are trained for such matters, and well, she claims that she was acting in self-defense, and that her knight friend was, but possessed, if you would believe it. But a knight
Impossible.
possessed is unheard of.
Completely unheard.
These are dangerous times we live in. Isn't that right, Vulpecula?
Too dangerous.
Shaky T.
Unfortunately, I have been told that your city does not desire the services of a knight. So I am here only to do what is my duty, what I'm allowed.
Yes.
I'm very pleased that your city at least holds the knights in esteem enough to enforce the law after one of them is wronged.
Well, yes, we pride ourselves in our order and how we pay fealty still to the king and the old ways, but still, I'm a murderer even when a knight will be punished. I'm afraid you might be in a bit of a bind, Vulpecula. You see, I know you speak with authority of the nobility, but I don't know if the populace will take kindly to you interfering with their justice. I can let you do this, but I'm afraid I can't in good faith let you know, go in blind, if you will, that while we obey the laws, perhaps our passions may get the better of us at this time. It has been a very long winter, and our food has been very, very poor this year. Tensions are very high. I'm afraid that things will come to a boil. And he takes another sip of his tea.
Of a particular concern, says, I understand, magistrate. You speak as though you do not wish to tell me that the people will not wait for the knight's justice. And that is not lawful, as you must understand.
Oh, I agree. But once, long ago when I was a boy, this would never have been a problem. And I'm telling you now that since the mistake that things have never been the same. People are always changing. Life is changing. I'm getting so tired.
It's like, you should rest.
He rubs his temples or his eyes and stuff.
Say, you may rest, kind sir. Know that there is something you not know. I do not only speak with the voice of the nobles. I speak with the voice of the stars. They may not honor the old ways, but I think they still will honor the stars. Would you like to hear it?
I've only heard stories of those with the star voice. You claim to speak for the stars?
I do more than that, friend. And she opens her mouth, and no sound comes out. But all the noise around her, it just gets blotted out. Like, you can't hear anything on the street. The people walking by, the thuds on the boards,
What
the
does
rest of the place.
What does Yilden feel like empathically from that? Because don't you communicate feeling or something? I think you said that. Yeah.
Like, he feels calm and at peace, and she's actually singing him a lullaby because he seems so tired.
Oh.
I think he was already sitting down, ready to hear it, and I think you see him start to drift to sleep, like with a smile on his face. He's like, "This is the tune I remember as a boy." Yeah.
So he drifts off to sleep, but only if he does not wake back up again.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I'm impartial.
I've been waiting to say that for a while now.
Awesome. So good. Yes.
And obviously,
yeah,
Vulpecula will be blamed for his death.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, that's also part of it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Obviously.
But only if the demons in this town confront her before she can leave.
But only if they do so by holding your lover hostage.
But only if she can save him.
But only if it costs innocent lives.
But only if it was lives already destined to be lost.
But only if that fact was not known by the rest of the populace.
And so it was.
Oh,
right.
There we go. And then all of that happens in a flash. So, that was super good. And there's also like going to be several rolls based on my own counting. But all right. So let's do some experience here. So once again, protagonist acting. So yeah. Sorry I didn't get to say that much this round, Textradamus, you know.
It's fine.
But yeah. Okay, so Kelsa?
Am I recapping this right now?
Yeah, or just the notes the notations of the time the protagonist acted in the ways that were sympathy for demons or demons as a whole, hatreds of people or a person as a whole, apathy, callousness, cynicism, doubt, or despair.
Okay. Pardon me. Well, definitely there was the whole giving up innocent lives for her lover. Whether
Oh,
you're
yeah,
destined to die or not, I mean,
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
no, that's
Totally.
totally a thing.
Totally.
And let's see. I feel like going to try to get the knight out of jail in the first place was kind of a doubt aspect of, like, I don't know, like,
The
I
mistaken
don't
makes the
feel
final
like
decision.
she had doubt in her heart.
I'm trying to, like,
FYI, yeah, the mistaken makes the final decision on whether something counts for experience if there's an argument about it.
because
But
Can I make my case at
yeah,
least?
yeah,
I
totally.
feel like it was, and maybe doubt is the wrong aspect to be petitioning for here, but
Is it cynicism?
I mean, it might have been it might be cynicism.
Let me make my case.
But yeah,
It's entirely reasonable for Vulpecula to believe that the townspeople hallucinated the whole thing, and that the knight was innocent.
so what? So
And
she,
that is why she was not so hasty to pass judgment.
so is she supposing then that this knight that died didn't actually die and maybe didn't exist in the first place?
The speculation would be that the demons killed the guy, and the people hallucinated the whole thing with him killing the other knight.
Okay.
That would be what Vulpecula would have thought. But
Yeah.
as the demon, do you get to say that's not what she actually thought?
Well, I don't think I can change what you thought, but I think the basically the I feel like there was never like a question of you going to question the knight or to get her side of the story. It was skipping straight to I'm going to get her out of there. If that makes sense. Like,
I don't think that's true either. I think, like, the goal was to get the information
okay.
to bring it to the Order of the Knights.
That's fine.
And that was my
I'll let that
stated
one pass.
intention when I
So
went in
one
there. So
one die roll.
okay,
And
let's
did you,
roll high.
did you have another one that you saw, Eric, that I may have
No.
Okay.
There may have been.
I'm trying to go back over.
It's conceivable you could argue that she was reckless and letting her lover go alone into a city she knew was probably crawling with demons.
Mm-hmm. Well, see,
Recklessness
it's funny because
isn't a problem though.
no, recklessness is totally fine.
It isn't?
No.
Sweet.
You're fine. It was funny because, like, at the beginning, like
I was baiting you for that.
I was trying to like get him captured at the beginning. That was like going to be my, but only if when you're
Right.
like, I go to the magistrate. I was like, yeah, but only if leaving your lover behind, he gets captured.
But then I would just say yes, and then I could continue the
Right.
story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, I felt like I needed to hold back on that, and so that's why it wound up being pretty much exactly. But plus, we killed people.
Yeah.
Yeah, kill people.
My advice is to don't hold back.
Oh, okay.
If that helps.
So I'll give a roll for the one we already talked about.
Yeah, do your
Oh, there we go. Your zeal goes down to 3.
Down the slippery slope.
But, as we play.
So killing innocents has weight on her soul.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to have enough time tonight to really get down to all the zeal. And as you know, the less zeal you have, the harder it is to actually lose more zeal. Is kind of how the game works.
Yeah.
The other one would be possibly apathy for the guy dying. Like, but that's pushing it. Sorry. All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to mute myself because apparently there's another fire truck going down my street. I kid you not.
Don't make sense this
That
time.
is That is 102 Dalmatians, the sequel, reloaded, going on my street right now. They're cyber Dalmatians.
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, it's dangerous. So, it is 11:16. We are due for our second break.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 7 minutes for the conclusion of the season finale of Once Upon a Game, where we're playing Polaris. Yeah.
Bye.